The silent power play. How to make people obey without asking. Machiavelli's hidden method. Power does not always move through noise. It flows in silence. It bends reality not by force, but by presence. Every empire, every leader, every subtle manipulator who ever commanded hearts and minds understood one truth: that effort is a signal of weakness. The truly powerful never chase, they attract. Influence is not the act of pushing your will into others. It is the art of making others believe your will was theirs all along. And to master that art, you must first master yourself. Influence begins long before words are spoken. It starts in energy, in the quiet gravity of a person who knows. People do not follow the loudest voice. They follow the calmest certainty. Those who shout for attention reveal their hunger for validation. Those who stay silent create mystery. And mystery is the highest currency of power. You cannot influence what you need. You can only influence when you no longer depend. If you believe wisdom isn't light or dark, but power understood, then this space is yours. Subscribe to White Side of Black Coded and step into the knowledge most people fear to confront. Now, let's dive deeper. Observe. Do not rush to convince. Watch as others convince themselves in your silence. When people cannot read your intention, they project their own. And projection is the leash by which the unseen manipulator guides the crowd. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand," meaning what they see matters more than what is real. To influence effortlessly, you must learn the art of controlled stillness. Stillness is not passivity, it is the quiet shaping of perception. When others grow emotional, you stay composed. When others explain, you remain vague. When others seek reaction, you offer none. Your calmness becomes a mirror, and in that mirror, people see their own need for approval. They give you power without understanding why. The mind that cannot predict you surrenders to you. The more you reveal, the more they resist. The more you conceal, the more they obey. So speak less, move slower, answer with intention, not impulse, because control begins the moment reaction ends. Silence is the purest form of dominance, not because it hides weakness, but because it forces others to fill it. When you fall silent, people start explaining themselves. They reveal more than they planned. They chase validation in your quiet. They talk to win your approval, and in doing so, they hand you the map to their minds. Silence unsettles the insecure. They mistake it for judgment. They try to win it, and in the process, they give you everything. Every great manipulator, every diplomat, every strategist learns this early. The one who controls the rhythm of conversation controls its outcome. Do not rush to respond. Do not fight to be understood. Let the silence do the work. Influence, like gravity, is invisible, yet everything falls into its pull. To influence without effort, give others the illusion of choice. Let them feel free while guiding them toward the decision you already made for them. People resist commands, but they follow suggestions that feel like their own discoveries. The secret is subtle framing. Ask, but never ask directly. Lead, but let them step forward first. You shape the boundaries, then let them walk within them, believing it was their path all along. The appearance of freedom creates the reality of control. This is how kings ruled, how merchants sold, how thinkers built revolutions. Influence is not about force, it is about emotional architecture, building invisible walls where others feel free, yet move exactly as you intend. People crave certainty more than truth. They will follow the confident liar before they trust the hesitant genius. Your task is not to be right, it is to appear unshakable. Certainty is hypnotic. It calms the nervous system of others. In uncertainty, they look for someone anchored. Be that anchor, and they will hand you authority without resistance. But remember, true certainty is quiet. The man who explains too much has already lost belief in himself. Confidence is not in words, it's in pauses, in unbroken eye contact, in the tone that says, "I do not need to prove this." That tone bends the mind more than argument ever could. Every human being is a labyrinth of desire. Desire to be seen, to be admired, to be accepted.
To influence them, you must see what they worship and offer it back to them as if it were your own gift. The wise manipulator does not resist desire. He mirrors it. He feeds it softly, like a fire that grows warmer until it believes it burns for him. Find what people crave: validation, power, attention, peace, and become the source of it. Then their loyalty is no longer a choice. It becomes survival. Influence begins not in dominance, but in deep understanding. See through people, not around them, because when you know what moves them, you never have to push again. Effort is visible. Effort exposes want, and want weakens authority. The art is to hide the strain behind elegance, to make control appear like coincidence. When people believe you are effortless, they call you gifted. They stop competing and start admiring. That is the birth of influence. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." But true mastery lies in being followed without anyone realizing they are following. Fear is a leash. Respect is gravity. And gravity does not pull, it simply exists. To influence effortlessly, you must become that, a force that does not chase, but draws. People do not see you as you are. They see you as they are. This truth is the cornerstone of power. When you understand it, you stop defending yourself. You become the mirror, clear, unshaken, reflective. In the mirror, they see what they want to see. To some, you are wisdom. To others, danger. To all, mystery. Wear masks not to deceive, but to survive. Because influence thrives not in authenticity alone, but in controlled revelation. Reveal only enough to be relatable. Conceal enough to remain untouchable. The mask protects your energy. The mirror amplifies their illusion. Between them lies the perfect balance, where you are never fully known, yet always desired. Nothing magnifies your value more than absence. When you step back, people's imagination steps in. They fill the void with their own longing, their own guilt, their own curiosity. They begin to chase the silence that once surrounded you. Presence gains meaning only through absence. The powerful disappear, not to hide, but to be missed. In negotiation, withdrawal creates pressure. In relationships, distance creates demand. In politics, scarcity creates myth. Never overstay influence. Make your presence felt, then leave. Not dramatically, but naturally, as if you were never trying to be remembered. The memory of calm power lasts longer than the noise of persuasion. Effortless influence is precision of intention. You must know exactly what you want, even when you pretend you don't. Every gesture, every pause, every word must align. Disorder in motive creates noise. Clarity creates command. Your intention is the invisible frequency others feel when you enter a room. You don't need to announce it. They sense it. They adjust unconsciously. Because energy precedes language. If your inner world is chaotic, your influence collapses. If your inner world is still, your presence expands. Machiavelli wrote for princes, but the same laws govern every human exchange. Master the unseen first, and the seen follows effortlessly. Influence without effort is not about control. It is about alignment. Aligning what you think, what you feel, what you show, and what you withhold. When all four move as one, you become untouchable. Because effort belongs to the divided mind. Presence belongs to the integrated one. The divided push, the whole attract. Even when you are silent, you are speaking. Your eyes negotiate. Your posture persuades. Your tone decides outcomes before words appear. Influence is not built in what is said, but in the atmosphere you create. To rule a room, you don't need to dominate the conversation. You need to control the emotional temperature. If you remain calm when others rise, curious when others panic, composed when others crumble, the mind instinctively ranks you higher. Hierarchy is not declared, it is felt. And the one who can remain emotionally colder always leads. To move others, you must understand the geometry of emotion. Anger expands. Fear contracts. Desire leans forward. Respect straightens. When you speak, measure their posture, not their words. The body reveals the truth before the tongue does. And when you sense emotion shifting, slow down. Because the one who controls the rhythm of emotion controls direction. Influence without effort is a dance. You move with, not against. Guide emotion like water, gently, subtly, without resistance. Water never fights rock. It surrounds it and wears it down. The weak fight every insult. The wise absorb, reframe, and redirect. When you resist, you expose your weakness. When you accept, you redirect the current. Influence flows through non-resistance. The reed bends and survives. The oak resists and breaks. Be fluid. Acknowledge outwardly, but never inwardly. Yield in appearance, but not in essence. This is the paradox of effortless control. The enemy spends energy fighting your reflection, never realizing it was their own shadow all along. Effortless influence is not speed. It is patience disguised as calm. You plant an idea softly today. It blooms in their mind weeks later, and they swear it was their own thought. This is the highest level of persuasion, invisible, timeless, precise.
Every pause, every exit, every word left unsaid builds the myth that others retell for you. True influence balances two faces, the visible and the hidden. The visible gives people comfort. The hidden keeps them intrigued. Be approachable enough to invite trust, but distant enough to preserve awe. The balance of warmth and mystery creates magnetic tension, the essence of charisma. Too warm, you dissolve. Too cold, you repel. But controlled temperature mesmerizes. People cannot look away from what they cannot fully understand. Availability kills mystique. The more accessible you are, the less valuable your presence becomes. Be seen occasionally. Speak selectively. Give just enough to spark hunger, never enough to satisfy it. The human mind equates scarcity with worth. To be everywhere is to be ignored. To appear rarely is to be remembered always. Absence feeds imagination. Imagination builds myth. And myth is power without touch. This is the essence of Machiavellian influence. Power that breathes quietly. Control that feels natural. Leadership that never needs to announce itself. Influence without effort is not a trick. It is a way of being. It is the calm realization that people move not by force, but by gravity. Become gravity. Unseen, unmoved, unchallenged. And the world will orbit around you. To influence without effort, you must create distance that invites pursuit. Every relationship, political, personal, emotional, is a negotiation of distance. Too far, and they forget you. Too close, and they no longer see you. Distance builds perception. It allows imagination to work in your favor. When people can't access you, they idealize you. They fill the space you leave with reverence, desire, or fear. The most magnetic figures in history mastered this discipline, appearing rarely, speaking less, yet commanding loyalty that lasted generations. They were not absent, they were selective. Presence loses value without scarcity. So appear only when your presence changes the atmosphere. Let them wait. Let silence sharpen their attention. And when you finally return, your words will weigh twice as much. Most think influence comes from speaking. In truth, it is born from listening. Not the shallow act of waiting to reply, but the deeper act of reading between words. Every sigh, every hesitation, every pause reveals intent. The surface of language hides the ocean of emotion beneath it. Those who listen beyond words can command without raising their voice. Listen to tone, not vocabulary. To rhythm, not grammar. To what was not said. When someone feels understood without having to explain themselves, they become loyal to the listener. They mistake your observation for empathy, and empathy, when guided by strategy, is the most elegant weapon of all. Machiavelli knew people follow not logic, but those who make them feel seen. So listen with precision, not to agree, to map. Every confession is a blueprint of their desires, and once you have the map, the kingdom is small. Every room has a temperature.
Every exchange has a current. Those who control the energy of a space rule it. To influence without effort, enter with composed energy. Do not absorb chaos. Do not mirror fear. Let others adapt to your rhythm. When you slow your breathing, people unconsciously match it. When you lower your tone, they lean forward to hear. When you speak after silence, every word feels heavy with meaning. Power is not in volume, it's in vibration. You do not have to dominate the environment. You simply have to stabilize it. The storm always surrenders to still air, because stillness, when mastered, becomes command. Energy is contagious. Decide which one you will spread. Human nature runs on the law of exchange. Give too much, you breed entitlement. Take too much, you awaken resentment. The master influencer gives small, deliberate gestures, a compliment, a concession, a token of goodwill, never random, never excessive. Each act plants an invisible debt. People feel compelled to balance what they receive. They begin to justify your importance to themselves. They begin to serve without feeling they serve. It is not generosity, it is calibration. Control the scale of reciprocity, and you control the relationship. Machiavelli warned princes, men are bound by obligation more than by affection. The same law applies in every modern boardroom and home. Create subtle obligations, unspoken loyalties, silent debts. They will call it friendship. You will know it as leverage. The highest level of influence leaves no fingerprints. The moment they realize you led them, the spell is broken. Therefore, guide outcomes, not egos. Allow others to take the credit for decisions that serve your design. Let them believe they were clever enough to think of it themselves. You lose attention, but gain permanence. Influence without effort is invisible direction. The breeze that bends the tree, never the hand that pushes it. When your ideas circulate without your name attached, you have transcended persuasion. You have become atmosphere. That is the purest power. To shape the world quietly, to move history by degrees so small no one notices until the landscape has changed. Be that hand, unseen, unhurried, unquestioned. And when the world finally turns your direction, say nothing, because those who understand already know. In the end, influence is not evil, nor is it holy. It is the silent architecture of every human exchange, a current running beneath conversation, politics, love, and faith. It is not about manipulation, it is about awareness. To know the strings of the world is not to pull them with cruelty, but to understand the motion of the dance. The weak see power as domination. The wise see power as design.
The highest see power as harmony, the alignment of intent, timing, and truth. Machiavelli was not teaching tyranny, he was teaching sight, to see the forces that govern men, to understand that even virtue, without strategy, falls silent in the noise of the world. You do not have to deceive, you have to perceive. You do not have to conquer, you have to arrange. Influence without effort is the point where vision and restraint become one, where morality bends but does not break, where silence speaks and motion is measured. This is the final lesson: to live like a sculptor among storms,
shaping outcomes without leaving scars, to move history with the gentlest of fingers, to be both shadow and light. Because in the end, true influence is not about control. It is about clarity. And clarity is power that needs no name.